Hey everybody, it's Ryder Timberlake. This is a video series, short series on just kind of the fundamentals of Elasticsearch. It's something I did, of course, if people can benefit from it or learn something from it, then I'm happy. Get some entertainment value. Uh, it's something that I started because we're using Elasticsearch at work, and it's something that I have I have no experience with really previously. So basically, this has just been kind of a crash course to get familiar with the basics, the concepts, the nodes, the shards, the clusters, the replicas, the indices, the uh, types, right? All these things. So this is the last episode planned for the series. Again, this is just a get in high level overview. At some point in the future, I may come back and stand up a toy project with Elasticsearch, or I may come back and do a deep dive into it. But this is to round out the search. The Elasticsearch series today is the plan. And what we've learned about Elasticsearch so far, well, Elasticsearch is based on Lucene, right? It's a text search engine. These are all things anyone familiar with the fundamentals will already know, but these are things which I just knew it was a thing you used to search. I didn't realize it was a thing that you only used for text search. So anyway, it's written in Java. You have all these different documents because it's not a relational database, right? It's a NoSQL type thing. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And basically, all these documents are organized into indices, and those indices by default will be divided up into 5 separate shards, and those shards will live on nodes. Typically, I mean, in order to really get what you want out of Elasticsearch in terms of the high reliability, high throughput, and so on, those shards should be living on separate nodes. It may even be necessary for them to live on separate nodes. That's not a piece of the puzzle that I grasp yet. And there's a nice little REST API that you can use to interact with your cluster. There are also different SDKs that have been put forward for different languages. So we're just going to dig right back into Elasticsearch, and that'll come up with this. And really, we could have gone straight to that second link, but now I'm just leaning into it and going forward. All right, here we go. And we just need to get into the docs here, and then we will keep going. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm in all honesty, I thought I had this open in another window already. Yep. So I am just going to lean into the fact that my lack of preparedness is showing very transparently right now. Yeah, so I'm on the product page for Elasticsearch. I mean, this is probably going to be easier, to be honest. Elasticsearch documents than... Nope. Documentation. There we go. There we go. All right. Installation and upgrade guide. Nope. We want the reference. Getting started. Right? Basic concepts. So we've already done and spun this up, and this is just going through the basic concepts that I was talking about. You also have your cluster health, which you can look at. Your cluster health is going to have a red, green, or yellow indicator. Red means you've got data missing. There's a real problem. Yellow means that your replica shards have not finished fully replicating yet. And then your, here we go. Green means everything's good, everything's fine. So we're going to copy this get cat health thing as a curl command to our, and since we've got an Elastic shard, an Elasticsearch cluster running, we can see that everything's fine. We got green, we have no documents, nothing in there at the moment. right? So this is just rehashing what I just said. Can also get a list of nodes. I am not setting as a stipulation that I will be getting through all the documentation today. In fact, I strongly suspect I won't. I'm just kind of rounding out this series, the bulk of which is already done in terms of the higher level overview. I just didn't feel right closing it out without one, actually interacting with the API a little bit, and two, having some closing remarks. Yep. So you have one node there. What do we have a node called Yvdkdf. Yup, Yvtrufavkvkate. Cool. Show me all the indices. So it's saying indices question mark V, and this and pretty is getting added at the end. And so, of course, the first thing I want to do is get rid of that and pretty and see what it does. It doesn't look any different so far. Can we go back at that cluster health and get rid of the pretty and see if that makes it any uglier? V and pretty. Looks about the same to me. All right, that's fine. Simply means we have no indices yet in the cluster. Let's copy that as a curl again so I don't have to up tab through my command history. Yep. Expected behavior. Now let's create an index. Sure. Really? You're going to do a put? But we don't have any indexes yet. What? Okay, so I'm going to go back and look at this health again. And you're yellow because you haven't done a replica shard. All right, so 5 shards over here, node data, blah, 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 blah. Still yellow. Can you be green? It's a good question. I don't get why we used a put. We didn't have any indices. And we put it, right? I'm not crazy, right? We came up here and we did a cat health. We did a cat indices, and we had 0 indices, and we're doing a put. Don't like it. I think it should be a post. The results of the second command tells us that we now have 1 index. Yep, and it has 5 primary shards. Yep, and yep. Health is yellow. Yellow means that some replicas are not yellow. Okay, the reason, because it has created 1 replica. Since we only have 1 node running, that 1 replica cannot yet be allocated. Yep. Okay, so you cannot, speaking to this earlier point, right? You can't make a replica in case, unless you have another node that replica can live on, which makes perfect sense. Sure. Let's copy this as a curl. It's just doing all the heavy lifting for me, man. Shards total successful 1, failed 0. Why is that shards part of it? What? No, this was our call, and this is our response. That makes perfect sense. So 2 shards, successful 1, failed 0. I think that's its cryptic way of saying that the replica didn't get allocated. Don't know. Let's look at the indices again. Still have just the 1 customer index in which that John Doe record that we just put lives. Want to look at the health check, and that should still be yellow. We need to make some other nodes here. Yep, created has an internal ID of 1. It's important to note that Elasticsearch does not require you to explicitly create an index first before you can index documents into it. Okay. In the previous example, we'll automatically do the thing. Now let's retrieve the document that we just indexed, customer external. So we did create that external type, right? So we should be able to do a get of that, and we'll get John Doe back. Yep, sounds good to me. We're going to also put Fred Flintstone in here. Uh-oh, created false. Total successful 1. Created false. All right, what happens when we hit our external types of our customer customer index? That's interesting. What happened to John Doe? What if I just say external? No endpoint available at external. What if it's 2? There's no 2. And there's no 3. Why did you write over John Doe with Fred Flintstone? Interesting. Put external 1. Oh, because I did a put explicitly to the external 1, not just the external. So yeah, that makes perfect sense that I would overwrite it. So yeah, that's a put to external 1. That's why I overwrote it. Here we're going to do John Doe again, but we're going to get rid of the 1 and see what happens. And you're telling me you didn't find a handler. Well, whoa. Okay. What if we get rid of all this pretty stuff? Just go. No handler found. I thought if I didn't give you an ID, you would just kind of handle it, but maybe that's not the case. So we're doing external 1 before. And that's how we blew up John Doe in favor of Fred Flintstone in the first place. What the heck, y'all? Oh, all right, that's fine. Yeah, so that's not going to work if we try this again. We're going to get the same error. So let's go ahead and say external 2. So we didn't get the response pretty printed for us because we didn't ask for it. But now, if we do a get to that external type of the customer index, we should see both of those things come back. Which I will do in just a second, as soon as I find where that get is. Here it is. Oh, right. All right. Can we not hit the external? You can't hit the external and return everything. So we can hit 2 and get the thing, and we can hit 1 and get Fred, but that's interesting. Does not require to explicitly create an index. Right, that's fine. And the response, which returns a full JSON document that we indexed. Okay, cool. Now let's delete the index that we just created and then list all the indexes again. Will you just delete it, including all the records? I'm guessing you will. All right, let's copy that as a curl command. Oh, you just ran it. You didn't even ask me. Yeah, so we do the indices call here and we see nothing. And if we do the health call, I would guess it should be green again. I would guess the health call should be green again. Yep, because we've got nothing. I'm waiting. So we can do a put to customer with nothing. I don't know why it's a put and not a post. Oh, sorry. That's not a valid command. Curl X put. You don't know how to do this. You're going to forget how to do something. You're never using curl. Yeah, no. And dash H content type, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so I'll just put this dash H content type application JSON dash D at the end. And then I'll just hit the endpoint, which is the same, this localhost 9200. And we're going to say customer, and then we'll tag all that stuff on the end. Oh, I did something wrong. I didn't close a quote somewhere. Nope, I did too many quotes. End, quit, oblivion. Control C. All right. Oh my gosh, this is silly. All right, so we have too many quotes there. Option D requires a parameter, huh? Now everybody gets to see writer learn to curl, which he never does, and it's going to be embarrassing and a waste of everyone's time. Application JSON dash D. All right, I'm just going to have them do it for me. Copy is curl, and it's going to be very unsatisfying for all involved. Oh my gosh, what? Why was that so many commands? Curl delete. Oh, because you literally, when you said copy is curl, you copied all the things, all of these commands. Well, great. So I should be back to square one. I can at least just see the responses that went in. We did an XGET. We had John Doe because we did a put up here to the external type of the customer index, which we created up here. And then we went ahead and did a put to it, and in this passing it an explicit ID of 1 and this name John Doe document, which then got indexed into that customer index external type. And then we went ahead and did a get to retrieve the ID1 document from the external type of the customer index. And then we went ahead and deleted the customer index. So if we were to go do our get for customer right now, if we were to do our get of the indices right now, we would expect nothing. And we would expect our health report to be green, because even though there's no data in it, that is apparently a healthy state. I just want to find where that health report is. Really, I should memorize the command at some point. Indices health. Oh my gosh. All right, there we go. Great. If we study the above commands carefully, we can actually see a pattern of how we index data, blah, blah, blah. Access data, rest verb, index, type ID, that's fine. That's fine. Modifying your data. Put external, customer external, one thingy pretty. Yep, that's fine. The above into the customer, if we then executed the above command again with a different or same document, we'll replace the new document on top of the existing one, which we saw earlier when Fred Flintstone blew away Jane Doe. Or John Doe, rather. The above changes the name of the document. Oh my gosh, I'm so inconsiderate. La 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 la. All right, the above changes the name of the document with the ID of 1 from John Doe to Jane Doe. If, on the other hand, we use a different ID, a new document will be indexed in the existing documents already in the index remains untouched. Here's a different ID. Yep, that is expected. The ID part is optional. If not specified, we'll generate a random ID and then use it. Oh. Okay, I was adding an extra slash to the endpoint, and that's why this wasn't working when I was trying to do it. Interesting, but that is a post. All right, we're going to put Jane Doe. Interesting. So that makes me wonder if there is an index retrieval, index in the REST sense. That so yeah, I should see yellow health now because I can't get replica shards allocated with only one node of my cluster. Um, Customer pretty, X delete. No, I want the get right, right. And I just want to do customer external. Oh, hmm. Okay. So it doesn't like that. Hmm. All right. So maybe not for that. What about just the index? No. I mean, I strongly suspect that since that's what we just saw, if we tried to, yeah, see, customer, no, that's the delete. I don't want to do that. But I would strongly suspect that if we tried to hit and get it to return all the things in the index, just under, what's your use case for that? I mean, this is like for massive quantities of data. Why would you ever want to return all the data in the index? And maybe ask yourself that question and think if there is a way to actually get all the data in the index. Sure. And then index is a new document with the update applied to it in one shot. Deletes the old document and then the next is a new document. Doesn't do in-place updates. Great. That makes me happy. This example shows how to update our previous document ID of 1 by changing the name field to Jane Doe. Sure. These are posts now. What? Ew. Ew. You're doing a post and then you're specifying update in the thing. Okay. Updates can also be performed by using simple scripts. Right. We have looked at all this before in the earlier videos. It's just we didn't actually start pinging stuff. CTX source refers to the current source document that is about to be updated. So this was written in Java. I'm wondering if we can concatenate some random bullshit onto whoa. Whoa, come on now. So oh, what? All right. Yeah, so show me that copy as curl. But as soon as I copy this, unless I change my terminal preferences, in which case maybe it won't. Blah, 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 blah. No, this is a little too much behind the curtain, as it were. I'll look at that another time. But yeah, unless I configure my terminal so that it doesn't automatically accept and run commands that I put in, I'm going to run it. Oh, but I can, that's fine. Whoa. Yeah. Document missing. External one. Do I not have an external one? That's interesting. Do I have an external two? I would expect. I do have cat health. If so, it's yellow. That tells me I've got data somewhere. Where's my data? I can't do that. Hmm. Hmm. Well, oh, look at the actual indexes. It might not be the customer external where you need to look. It is customer. Oh, it's just customer. Yep. All right. Something about that doesn't look right. Is available at 1, is available at 2. Mm, that's fine. Deleting documents. Right, delete by, to delete a whole index instead of deleting all documents with the delete by query. And then the batch processing. All right, so yeah. In 5 minutes, we're not going to find a way to do anything interesting. I would need an Elasticsearch expert or somebody with a bunch of data handy and knowing what to do with it sitting next to me to make that happen. And maybe I can make that happen on a future date, but I don't think that's going to happen today. So let's go into closing then. Yep, this was just rounding out our, there's a sample data set. Look at that. Bulk refresh data binary accounts.json. Cool. All right. So today was the last day of our brief getting to know Elasticsearch series. Basically, this was just a quick and dirty high-level overview, rounding out probably about an hour and a half, something like that in total. Hopefully not too much more than that. But basically just me going through mainly the Elasticsearch documentation and getting an idea of how things work, what the API is that you interact with, some of the just higher level concepts like the indexing, the sharding, the noding. Yeah, so this would be great for a future deeper dive, actually standing up a toy project, actually doing something with it, and maybe I'll get the chance to do that someday. That'd be cool. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Well, I mean, I won't see you.